Hey, this is Sam Black with my second match with this Bant Legacy Cube deck. I'm on the draw against a mulligan, and I have quite a good hand again. I'm willing to find more creatures to make this opposition work, but my deck is quite good at doing that. I have Harmonize to help out, so I'm optimistic about my ability to go turn 1, fetch for Savannah, play Elvish Mystic, turn 2, Harmonize, or turn 2, Cultivate, turn 3, Harmonize into some good things. Get rid of the Arid Mesa because it can't find very many lands in my deck. Get the Savannah, play the Elf. Merfolk Looter. Just get one of each, and I'll put the island into play. Doesn't really, don't think it matters. Put the island into play. Likely playing against Reanimator. It's so much more likely that they would end up with Merfolk Looter in their deck than someone else. But no big monsters in the graveyard yet. Bitter Blossom. It's a reasonable way to get around an opposition. I'm just gonna cast Harmonize. Try to find something good to do. Medium. So next turn I can play either land Frost Titan or land Opposition Tribuilder. Woodfall Primus in the graveyard. Don't want to get Opposition into play until this is in play, I suppose. Yeah, especially now that this is here. Oh, this is kind of a whole thing. Alright, so now I really need to try to deny my opponent mana. It's going to be a little harder because this is going to be killing my mana. Alright, so just have to hope that this Frost Titan can stop my opponent from casting the Recurring Nightmare. But it's likely that my opponent can find another land. This exact juncture, I'm not worried about taking 6 damage. I'm just going to try to lock my opponent out of mana, because if I get set up, then my opponent's not going to be able to kill me, and my life total won't really matter. I guess, actually, the best way to stop the Recurring Nightmare is probably to deny my opponent targets for the Recurring Nightmare and just lock down the Merfolk Looter. Yeah, I'm gonna tap the I'm gonna stop the Merfolk Looter from untapping. Then I can take a hit from the Primus and then start getting set up to opposition. Provided I get to do anything. Forbidden Alchemy will try to put some creatures in the graveyard, presumably. But now I've set things up a little better to make it harder for my opponent to cast things. Alright, so this thing is in the graveyard, so I really need to get this stuff to work. So we're going to play Forest in opposition. Tri-Builder, and now I'm going to attack with this and lock down Isolated Chapel, and then in my opponent's upkeep I'll tap 2 more lands, should theoretically stop my opponent from casting Recurring Nightmare. This is oddly aggressive. Yeah, now I just tap the blocker and attack for the win. Oh, I was drawing Thragtusk. Not that that matters at all. Alright, so against Reanimator, Unexpectedly Absent is a bit more important. So my opponent has big things that need to be dealt with. So I can just work a bit harder. I mean, I can just probably put a Plains in my deck and then have no problem casting this. Auriok Survivalist had some targets. Oh, it kills Animate Dead, which my opponent had in addition to Bitter Blossom, and can theoretically catch a Recurring Nightmare, maybe. Hidden Dragon Slayer is also an answer to a big thing. Let's do some of this. And I guess Kiora bubbling a big thing can matter, although I'm not super excited about it. Wall of Blossoms is the wrong way to fight giant creatures. Managorger Hydra is not the right way to approach this matchup either. Thragtusk is not what I need. Wolfir's Silverheart is a reasonable clock, but I don't know that it's better than something else. Just a random threat. It's probably slower than just like a Managorger Hydra if I'm just playing a random threat. And I'll cut. Don't really like cutting. I guess I haven't had a problem with blue. I'll cut Island, should be okay, and add a Plains. And yeah, we'll try it like this. deck feels more threatening than my last opponent's. I don't think I can keep a hand that doesn't have an accelerator. This hand is, I would keep this hand in a normal limited match, but my deck can do much better things than this. But I don't really think I can double mulligan when I have a functional hand. I don't need this. I need a 1-mana accelerator. If I draw any mana elf, this hand becomes great on my first draw step. I mean, nope. Slow it is. Yeah, alright, well, that'll play. If my opponent doesn't play a blocker, I can play Edric and attack and draw a card. Not a blocker. It is threatening, though. I would like a card. That's good. It's also good that my opponent didn't reanimate something ridiculous here. So now I think I just play a land, Avacyn's Pilgrim, natural order away, Avacyn's Pilgrim, and get, I think I want a Hornet Queen. Let's see, Avenger of Zendikar. I guess Avenger of Zendikar gives me the same number of creatures. They're bigger because of Cultivate, but they don't all have Death Touch. I think I want the Hornet Queen. Ashiok is not a concern. Let's see, I have 6 mana, so I think I just play all the ramp and then I'll harmonize and cast things next turn. Let's start by killing Ashiok. Too bad I don't still have Edric. This with Edric would be very fun. Well, I guess this thing is getting close to threatening its ability. I mean, not super close. 11 mana is still a ways away, but oh, that's bad. That was not good at all. Pretty sure I'm going to lose to that. I mean, I guess I have exactly enough mana to... Alright. That's a good draw. No, I'm a mana short. Oh, and now I revealed that thing for no reason. I forgot that it costs 3 to unmorph, not 2. How brutal. Alright, that was bad. Alright, lesson learned. Going wide, dangerous here. Very brutal Massacre Worm. Is there anything I can really do about that? I wonder if this thing is good in this matchup. My opponent seemed to have a lot of ways to kill it. Certainly silly. It costs so much mana to make this thing good. How big does it really need to be though? Like at a 3/3 it's not that bad. What would I cut? Something like Mana Gorger Hydra. Mana Gorger Hydra on the play seems pretty good. I'm just going to stick with what I have. I could Dictate of Heliod to try to get out of Massacre Worm as an issue. I do have a lot of token makers. Dictate of Heliod's not terrible to going with the planes anyway. What could I cut for Dictate? Deranged Hermit. Deranged Hermit's so good like with Sheoldred in opposition, even if it's scary against Mana Gorger. Maybe I don't need the Survivalist. This looks very good. I have the 1, 3, 5. And Karn is really good in this matchup, since it can give me an answer to some random huge thing my opponent puts into play. I'm not terribly far from casting it. Oh, I should have just gotten... Well, I guess Plains is in my deck now, so this has more things it can find. But... mostly I think I want to get it dealt with. Double white if I count this thing, but I don't see any reason that I need to. Just do this, put this into play. I was thinking I was in no hurry to get the Deranged Hermit down, but getting a bunch of squirrels and then playing Edric is kind of sweet, but I'm just going to play Dragonlord Ojutai this turn. Alright, so looks like my opponent is trying to kill Dragonlord Ojutai at instant speed. I am going to play around that by just playing Deranged Hermit and passing. Now, I think my prime, how big is this thing? 5/5. So I really don't want it to fight with Ojutai. If I play opposition, I think my opponent will kill it, so Just gonna play Edric to bait out the Ashen Rider so that I can stick opposition. Now the problem is that when this thing dies, it gets to kill the opposition. So I guess I need to let it die. I only have 6 mana. How do I stop it from dying? It's not easy to do. I think I just lock out my opponent's other stuff. Empty my opponent's mana pool. Tap the last land. And now we just keep my opponent shut down while I develop until I can handle one thing getting exiled. Might not even ever get to the point where I need to let anything get exiled. tossing Karn, I guess. No, that's just eating lands from my opponent's hand. It's Hornet Queen first. Of course, now I'm at the point where there's some risk of my opponent working out a situation where they can put Massacre Worm into play at instant speed, which means that I'm under a bit of pressure to find a way to get out of this situation. Of course, I might just have lethal in a second. Let's see. So if I exile this thing with Karn and my opponent kills opposition, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, a million. Okay, so I can actually just target this, tap one guy, that'll kill it. It'll exile whatever it wants. It tried to exile Frost Titan for some reason. Attack with this stuff. Target, whatever. Okay. Alright, and that was the match.